Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Right off the bat, you might have noticed something a little bit different today. Yes, I am wearing false lashes. I don't know what possessed me to wear false lashes today, but we are doing it. I'm wearing the Lily Lashes Light Faux Mink Lashes in the style Luxe. This is my first time trying out Lily Lashes. But anyway, this video today is going to be, as you can see from the title, about the Ofra and Samantha March collection round 2. So I have the eyeshadow palette right here, the Life's a Draft eyeshadow palette. Like I mentioned, this is round 2 of a collaboration between Ofra and Samantha March. They had their last collaboration, or their first collaboration, last year, 2020, right around when the whole shutdown for the pandemic started. I believe it was like in March 2020, where she released a bronzer blush duo. Was it a bronzer, blush, and I think some lip products? And about that time is when I started following Samantha March. I had heard of her here and there before from some of the other people that I follow or watch on YouTube. So this round 2 collection released in March 2021. I don't remember the exact date, and it launched on Ofra.com and at Ulta as well. And the collection included the eyeshadow palette, like I mentioned, that I have, as well as a lip trio that I did not purchase. The lip trio, if I'm not mistaken, consists of 3 different lip glosses. 1 or 2 of those were from her previous launch, I believe. I'll put a picture somewhere here so you guys can see. Today we're going to be focusing on the Life's a Draft eyeshadow palette. Now, this is Ofra's mini mix style palette, where it includes eyeshadows plus face products. So I'll go ahead and open up the palette and show you guys what it looks like on the inside. So here we have 8 eyeshadows and then some face products. So we have the bronzer right here in Key, and this is also from her round 1 launch. And then we have the blush or blush topper in the shade 6, as well as the highlighter here in the middle in the shade Dream Chaser. And this palette is what I use on my eyes today. I am going to be demoing the eyeshadow, this eyeshadow look for you guys in a little bit, so stay tuned if you are interested in that. The Life's a Draft eyeshadow palette retails for $39, and like I said, it's available at Ofra.com and as well as Ulta, and I believe it just recently is available now at, is it Beauty Bay or Beautylish? I'm not sure, but it's one of the 2 that it's also available at. The way this palette is set up is we have the names of the eyeshadows on the back. Here you can see we have the names of the different eyeshadows and the face products on the back, which makes it a little hard because depending on what way you're looking at it, the names of these shadows can be, you can confuse the names of the shadows. So let's do a couple swatches. I think I'm actually going to swatch the shades that I didn't use in the demo portion, because you'll be able to see the other shades as I'm applying them to my eye. So let's go in first with this kind of, with this shade right here, which is a dark purple shade. And this shade, I believe, is called Ink. So I'm just going to dip into that. Oh, wow, that's pretty. So that is it on my ring finger there. Let's go ahead and do a swatch. So that is the shade Ink. That's really pretty. I'm actually regretting not using that today now that I've swatched it. We're also gonna go ahead and swatch this other shimmer shade right up here, which I believe is Honors. So that's the shade on my middle finger, and let's go ahead and do a swatch. That's a really pretty purpley pink, kind of like a reflecty shade. If is that just me, or are you guys seeing that? Next, we're gonna go into this shade right here, which is Cherry. And out of all the shades, I think this one is the least purpley toned. This palette was meant to be a purple palette. She mentions that purple is one of her favorite colors. So that is Cherry right there. And you can see it does have more of a cherry or a more reddish tone, in my opinion. Those are really pretty. I also want to swatch for you guys the blush or blush topper in this shade 6. Which I didn't use today. I'm not a huge fan of like shimmery blushes, so I don't know how much I would use this, but it's right there. That's the shade 6. That's actually really pretty. I probably should have brought something to wipe this off. I'll be right back. Okay, so next we're gonna swatch the bronzer shade, and the bronzer shade is Key. Oh, that looks like a pretty shade as well. So I'm gonna swatch that right next to Cherry. So that is Key right over here. It's it's on the lighter end of bronzer. So if you are of deeper complexion, that might not work for you. That likely won't work for you. And then last but not least, we're gonna swatch the highlighter shade, and that is in Dream Chaser. Whew, that is bright. I'm gonna swatch that right on top of all the other shades so you can see it right there. Darn, I should have used that as well. Looking at these swatches now, I'm actually really interested in that blush topper. So let's go ahead and try it over what I have right now. So I'm just gonna dab in, dust off. Ooh, yeah. Just gives me a bit more of a glow iridescence over what I already had. And I do have highlighter already on, so I don't want it to be too in your face. Let's go on this other side. That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty. I'm not usually, like I said, I don't usually use blush toppers, but I really like that. It's very subtle, so just go with a light hand and you'll be fine. Alrighty, so let's get into the demo try-on portion of this video so you can see how I came up with this eye look. So we're gonna go in with the Ofra and Samantha March mini mix palette in Life's a Draft. This is their round 2 collection, and we're gonna go ahead and create an eye look. I have used this palette, I want to say like twice since I got it, and I'm just gonna go and do a quick eye look, not necessarily like a tutorial or anything like that, but just so you guys can get an idea of how they work on the eyes and what the color looks like. I do have a bit of just concealer and some translucent powder on my eyelids. What I usually do is just take whatever's left on my sponge from blending my concealer and take it up just to kind of even out the skin tone, the veins and whatnot that I have on the eyelids. I am also going to use just a little bit of eye primer. I'm going to use the Cosmetics Pero Primero primer. So going into this palette, I am going to go into some of the lighter shades. I'm going to do something similar to the eye look that I did the last time I used it. So I'm going to go into this shade right here and this shade right here and kind of mix those two as my transition shade. I'm just using a fluffy brush. This does look stained, but I did use my color switch. So I'm dipping into both, tapping off, and I'm going to place the color first right above my crease and then blend. I've been starting to do this a lot more instead of just like blending it right in to help get more pigment and then blend out. I know I've mentioned in a couple of my other videos that I prefer to build my way up with the eyeshadows, but I guess I'm trying something new now. And I'm just kind of shaping my eye. I'm kind of going for that V here. I'm following kind of the natural shape and pulling it out this way. I do have my mirror to the side, so if it looks like I'm looking over to the side, that's why. This is a more of a like purple palette for sure. However, I feel like the shades on the eyes, at least for me, give me more mauvey pink with purple. So it's not gonna look like, you know, it's not gonna look like this shade purple on the eyes. But it's still close enough. Purple is actually my favorite color, and this palette is also a plus because Ofra is vegan, so they do not use carmine, which means I can use these eyeshadows without any problems. So I'm just taking my time with the blending. You can take as much time as you like or have available. Luckily today I don't really have anything planned, so I can take my time doing my eye makeup. Okay, so to deepen this up, I am gonna go into this shade right over here and put that kind of right into the crease, and I'm using the same brush, so just to keep it easy. I'm gonna place it right into my crease. So with those first two shades, like I said, I put them right above the crease or almost on my brow bone. This one I'm putting right into the crease to help give me some depth and just kind of deepen it up, give me more drama, I guess. Can you guys tell the difference now that I've placed that there? And then as it's in there, I'm just kind of lightly blending it. And as you can tell, I'm not bringing the shadows all the way in. I kind of want to keep this area right here blank and nice and clean. I feel like that helps just open up the eye and keep it looking open and bright. And those blended into each other seamlessly. So you can see there, no skipping, no patchiness, no muddiness, at least from what I can tell. Because the colors are all of similar tones, I don't think you can see much of a differentiation between the different colors. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the deepest purple shade, which is this guy right here. And that's gonna go on the outer corner. I'm gonna try this Sigma E44 Firm Blender. So it's kind of a denser, let's see how that goes. So I'm just gonna dip into there, pick up some product. And I'm just going to place it. I'm going to pat it on. There it is. You can see it is pigmented for sure. I think this one you can see a lot more of that true purple color versus the other shades that were more on the mauve side. So you can see how that's about this far in. And I'm just blending that into my lash line. Being careful to not blend it too hard because I don't want it to come down on my lower lash line. So I'm going to take some of that purple color just on the very tip of the brush and kind of angle a little bit up to get it as close as I possibly can. I hope my mirror is not blocking the camera and you guys can still see. I'm bringing it about halfway in. There we go. And then I'm going to take that brush again that we used for the crease and I'm just going to lightly right here just blend where that purple shade is blending into, where that purple shade is coming into where we had no shadow place. And I'm just going to kind of lightly blend this over so it doesn't look like a harsh line per se. I'm pretty happy with the way that's looking. Next, what we're going to do, I want to keep the eye looking bright and light, so I don't necessarily want to go in for like a dark color like this one right here, even though it is really pretty. I think I'm going to go into this shade right here, which I believe is either Maya or Ink, depending on what way you're looking. Let's see. Okay, so the name of the blush is 6, so the one above 6 is going to be Maya. Okay, so this shade right here, Maya, and I'm going to go in with my finger, just kind of swirl in there. That's a really pretty pink shade, and I'm just going to tap onto the part of the eyelid where we didn't place any shadow, just where we had the primer, that kind of open space. Look how pretty that is. I love the way that's like pairing up with the purples. I mean, obviously it's supposed to, right? Because they put them together in this palette, but I really like that pink color. And then we're gonna go back into the brush that we used to use that darker purple color. And I'm gonna just go back and just kind of pat over where the two colors met, because I do want this outer portion to stay that purple color. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that right now. So altogether we've used 4 of the 8 shades. So we've used about half of them. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and we'll be right back. All right, guys, and we're back. So this is the completed eye look. It kind of took a turn in a good way. I mean, I decided to put on some false lashes, which I don't usually do unless it's like a big occasion. The only other thing that I did off camera was took whatever was on the 2 eyeshadow brushes that I used, both this guy right here and this one. I went ahead and dusted whatever was left on the lower lash line. Are you guys proud of me? I am now more often actually completing my lower lash line. If you've been watching for a while, you may remember me mentioning in one of my earlier videos that I like to leave my lower lash line blank. But I am progressing now, so that's good. So all in all, I really enjoy the look that I came up with this eyeshadow palette today. This is different from the past 2 or 3 times that I've used this palette. It's a different eyeshadow look than what I've done the past 2-3 times that I have used this palette. I love the purple tones. I love the pink shimmer. I love the blendability of it. Overall, just a good solid palette. So I do highly recommend, if you were questioning whether or not you should pick this up, definitely check it out. I'm gonna leave the link to Samantha's video on her collection reveal in the description bar below, as well as her Instagram. Go ahead and check out her video and give her a like. Thank you for joining me for this video. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. The subscribe button is somewhere down here. Give this video a like and let me know in the comments below if you picked up a round 2 of the Samantha March and Ofra Cosmetics collection, what your thoughts were. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.